The SL nameplate has been an icon for nearly 70 years. Ever since the famed 300 SL Gullwing of the 1950s captivated the world, now reborn under the AMG banner, the new SL is tasked with blending its grand touring heritage with cutting-edge performance. Beneath the elegant exterior lies a handcrafted 4-liter twin-turbo V8 pumping out 577 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. All that muscle is managed by a 9-speed MCT gearbox, pushed to all 4 wheels via AMG's 4MATIC Plus all-wheel drive system for the first time in an SL. The result? 0 to 60 in roughly 3.5 seconds, and a top speed approaching 200 miles an hour. Those are supercar stats. Yet the SL63 wraps them in an open-top luxury Grand Tourer package. It's a car equally at home making a flashy entrance at a 5-star hotel as it is blitzing down the Autobahn. Pays closer attention that this is the top-of-the-line SL63 model rather than an SL55 or 43. Those have lesser engines due to emissions regulations. Long, low, and impossibly confident. The SL63's design is a head-turner from every angle. The classic roadster proportions remain: a stretched hood, seating positioned far back near the driven rear axle, and a stubby tail. Up front, the aggressive AMG-specific Pan America grille with vertical slats announces that this is no ordinary boulevard cruiser. Slim LED headlamps weep back over the fenders, and subtle power domes on the hood nod to the car's muscle. The new fabric soft-top roof replaces the previous heavy folding hardtop, saving about 46 pounds in the process. But in my opinion, losing one of the crucial features of an SL, which was a roof that looks like a coupe up while remaining a proper convertible. Soft tops never do seem to look as good as hard tops in my opinion, but at least the roof can open or close in about 15 seconds flat, at up to 35 miles an hour. You don't have to be stopped every time to convert. The rear end features sleek LED taillights and an active rear spoiler that deploys at speed, plus quad exhaust outlets that make sure that you hear that 4-liter V8. Large 20-inch or optional 21-inch alloy wheels fill the arches, and the whole stance of the car is wide and planted, ready to pounce. But hold on, let's pause for a dose of honesty. As much as this car looks beautiful, there are some things to note. For one, Super Licht, or Super Light, standing for SL, is more of a historical name than reality now. At about 4,343 pounds, this roadster is a hefty machine hiding under a sleek skin. No amount of aluminum and composite trickery can change physics, and keen eyes might notice the car's considerable size and weight in person. But if you choose to ignore the numbers, in motion or at rest, the SL63 has stage presence. Mercedes didn't just make this car to spec sheets, they sculpted it. Little details like the aero elements, active louvers, and that pop-up rear spoiler aren't just functional, they add drama to the theater that is this car. Overall, the exterior nails the brief. It's equal parts luxury yacht and modern muscle, ensuring that you arrive quickly and in style. Slip inside the SL63 and you are greeted by a cabin that blends high-tech flair with old-school Grand Tourer luxury. The interior layout is clearly driver-focused, with a swooping dashboard and a flowing center console that makes you feel cocooned in its cockpit. In front of the driver lies a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, and in the center, a towering 11.9-inch touchscreen borrowed from the S-Class that can electronically tilt to reduce glare when the top is down. The Digital Duo runs the latest MBUX infotainment, offering everything from navigation to performance telemetry, all with slick graphics. Framing the central screen are jet turbine-style air vents, a Mercedes hallmark, adding a sporty touch to the elegant surroundings. And everywhere your hands fall, there is soft Nappa leather, real metal, and optional carbon fiber or piano black trim. Although I would heavily recommend you get the carbon fiber since the piano black trim scratches very easily. At night, the cabin comes alive with configurable ambient lighting that traces along the doors and dash, setting whatever mood you'd like. On a more personal note, as much as I love the tech in this car, like the GTA-style 3D camera, I do have to somewhat knock it a little bit. Usually, from what I've seen, Mercedes is really good at interior design. And recently, it's all been, I'm going to put a big center screen, and then I'm going to put a screen in front of you, and that's the entire interior. nothing else really feels that special. I mean, yes, they have the metal Burmester sound system grills. You have some leather on the door and leather on the dash. But I'm sorry, but it stops feeling so special after a while. So that's something definitely to keep in mind. As much as this is a beautiful car, and this interior is still a really nice place to be, I feel like Mercedes is a little bit losing its touch by focusing too much on screens. The SL reintroduces a 2+2 seating layout, the first SL with back seats since the R129 of the 1990s. But also, to be real, those back seats are tiny. They're mostly fine for a quick ride to dinner if the people back there are kids or very petite adults. But for most, it's better thought of as a padded parcel shelf for a couple of overnight bags or a jacket. Still, the mere presence of rear seats under that sleek roofline is a nod to practicality, or a way to lower your insurance rates by technically being a four-seater. Settle into the amply bolstered 12-way power-adjustable AMG sports seats, and you'll find them as comfortable as they are supportive. Complete with heating, ventilation, and even Mercedes' signature air scarf, which blows warm air on your neck to keep you cozy when driving top-down on a chilly morning, the driving position is spot on. Low enough to feel sporty, but with excellent visibility over that endless hood. And another thing is this steering wheel. Nice materials, flat bottom, fun little screens to play around with. It seems perfect. But the fact that they're using capacitive buttons for everything is kind of a give and take. They work most of the time, but the problem is that they work a little bit too much of the time. What I mean by that is, as you're driving, you accidentally take a really hard turn and your finger kind of moves a little along. And because these are capacitive and don't need too much pressure, you accidentally click on a button and now you're calling your mom. Now you're activating the Hello Mercedes feature.
I'm sorry, can you say that again, please?
Like that. So it's a give and take. Overall, I like the wheel. I just wish we had real buttons on the steering wheel, but other than that, the small little screens are pretty fun to use. And how is the SL63 like to drive? The SL63 is surprisingly civil. The gearbox shuffles to higher gears to keep the revs low, the exhaust hushes, and the adaptive suspension softens to glide over minor bumps. The Jekyll and Hyde personality is key to the SL's character. Boulevard cruiser one moment, back road bomber the next. Find an open stretch of road, switch to Sport Plus, and the beast awakens. Each shift accompanied by a crackle, all-wheel drive traction means no tire slip, just hook and go. Keep your foot in it and the SL63 storms past 100 miles an hour in a blink, and allegedly won't stop until about 195 miles an hour on the top end. Where legal, of course. Few cars deliver this kind of straight-line punch with such a sense of confidence. It's drama with a safety net. A muscle car in a tailored suit. Take it into the curves and the SL exhibits a blend of agility and stability. There's a lot of tech working in your favor here. Rear wheel steering that turns the back wheels a few degrees to help the car rotate in tight corners, and an active suspension that constantly adjusts damping to control body roll. As a result, the SL63 can feel surprisingly nimble for something of its size. Dive into a sweeping bend and it hunkers down, staying flat and composed. The steering is precise and nicely weighted, making it easy to place the car, though feedback through the wheel is a bit muted, as is often the case with modern electric steering. However, physics hasn't completely taken a vacation with this car. The ride, while mostly comfortable, can get busy over rough pavement, especially if your SL is fitted with the optional 21-inch wheels. And to reiterate, it's not a sports car, it's a grand tourer with serious athletic ability. And also, have I mentioned turbo noise? Every time you floor that accelerator, you hear that turbo spool, and once you let go, it just gives you that iconic psh. And to be honest with you, it's very rare in this class of car that you find a car that can genuinely be a very, very luxurious grand tourer, but at the same time, really have some fun when you want it to. Is it perfect? Not by any means. But importantly, it doesn't need to be. The 2024 Mercedes AMG SL63 makes a statement by just existing. In a world full of SUVs and electric cars, it says that the joy of driving, feeling the wind in your hair, and a powerful engine under your foot is alive and well. the SL has always been the symbol of the good life, and this iteration of the SL lives up to that name 100%. With a new AMG twist, the car is more fun than ever, while still retaining its comfortable aspects. In conclusion, this car can do it all. If you can handle the not so practical elements of this car, such as the unusable rear seats and small trunk, to be honest with you, it's a very rare car nowadays to even exist. So if you are within your means to buy one, I highly recommend you do. And for this SL, I just wait a little bit and then snap it up as a deal on the used market. Because once you do, you have a hell of a lot of car for probably not that much money as the years roll by.